Your brain is playing a trick on you, and it's the reason you have no friends. Scientists studied people without friends and found something disturbing. Their brains physically change, and this change makes connecting with people harder every single day. In this video, you'll see exactly what's happening in your brain right now, how the trap was set, why it keeps tightening, and the truth at the end that flips everything upside down. When you go without friends for months or years, your brain rewires itself. The part that reads faces weakens. The part that understands social cues slows down. Your brain is adapting to isolation. However, this adaptation becomes a trap. The longer you're alone, the worse you become at connecting. Your social skills deteriorate while you're not even watching. But what your brain does next makes everything worse. It all starts with pain. A secret gets shared. A friend group disappears without explanation. Someone you trusted lets you down. Your brain takes notes. It records every betrayal, every rejection, every disappointment. Therefore, it builds a protection system. Don't open up. Don't trust easily. Don't expect much from people. These aren't conscious choices, they're automatic defenses. And that's when the invisible wall goes up. The protection system creates a wall you can't see. However, everyone else can feel it. You start interpreting everything as rejection. A delayed text? They don't like you. Canceled plans? They're avoiding you. Someone acts nice? They're just being polite. Your brain is so focused on protecting you that it pushes away the exact thing you need most. But here's where it gets strange. External conversations disappear. However, internal conversations explode. You replay old interactions endlessly. You rehearse conversations that never happen. You build entire friendships in your imagination with people you barely know. This inner world feels safe. No judgment, no rejection, no risk. But then your thinking starts going in circles. Without real people challenging your perspective, your mind gets trapped. You convince yourself of things that aren't even true. And here's the part that nobody expects. People without friends often understand friendship better than anyone else. You've observed from the outside so long that you see everything clearly now. Fake smiles, insincere compliments, surface-level small talk. You spot it all instantly. This should help you find real friends, right? But it backfires completely because now you can't settle for anything less than perfect, authentic connection. You want someone who truly gets you, someone you can trust completely. Therefore, you wait for the right person. But while you're waiting, everyone thinks you're the one who doesn't want connection. The moment you realize this, another problem appears. If this is resonating with you, hit that like button and subscribe. But leave a comment too. Tell me, what's the hardest part about making friends for you? I want to know your story. Without friends, you lose your mirror. Friends reflect your good qualities back to you. They remind you what makes you valuable. They show you who you are, but alone, you only see flaws. You convince yourself you're boring, uninteresting, that nobody would want to know you anyway. Then someone actually tries. They show interest. They want to connect. However, you don't believe it. You think they want something, or they're being nice, or they'll eventually see what's wrong with you and leave like everyone else. This fear kills opportunities before they begin, and time makes it worse. Time stretches differently when you're alone. Weekends feel endless. You can't remember last week because nothing meaningful happened. Or you obsess over one 5-minute conversation because it was your only human contact. You learn to be comfortable alone. You have to be. But then comfort becomes its own cage. The more comfortable you get with solitude, the more terrifying people become. Social situations that used to feel natural now feel like performances you're not prepared for. And the moment you think you're adjusting, reality hits. You realize you've forgotten how to just talk to people. What used to flow naturally now requires conscious effort. You overthink every word you analyze, every facial expression for signs of boredom or judgment. It's like forgetting how to ride a bike. You know you used to know how. However, now every movement feels foreign and forced. The thing you need most, practice, requires doing the thing you've gotten worst at. Your anxiety about being rusty makes you more nervous. Being nervous makes your conversations worse. Worse conversations confirm you're bad at relationships. The loop tightens with every failed attempt, but nobody around you sees what's really happening. Society expects you to have friends, weekend plans, someone to call, a +1 for weddings. When you don't have these things, you feel like you're failing at being human. Therefore, you perform. You create elaborate excuses. You decline invitations rather than admit the truth. You pretend to be busy when you're really just alone. This constant performance is exhausting, and it keeps you isolated even more. However, there's another layer that makes this even more painful. You open social media, group dinners, road trips, inside jokes, birthday parties. Everyone else's life looks full while yours feels empty. The comparison is unavoidable. Everyone figured something out that you're missing. Online communities offer a safer alternative. You can connect without face-to-face vulnerability. You can disconnect whenever things get uncomfortable. But these digital friendships just highlight what you're missing in real life. And your emotional world starts breaking down in ways you didn't expect. Without friends, emotions become overwhelming. Joy feels hollow with nobody to share it with. Sadness feels infinite with nobody to comfort you. Anger just turns inward on yourself. You become your own support system, your own therapist, your own best friend. But humans weren't designed to carry everything alone. You save experiences and stories, hoping someday you'll have someone to share them with. However, by the time that person arrives, if they ever do, everything feels stale and outdated. Some days you feel hopeful that things will change. Other days you accept this is just how life is now. This emotional back and forth becomes its own exhausting cycle. And in all of this struggle, something unexpected is happening. Deep in that isolation, while your brain is changing and your walls are building and your skills are fading, something else is growing. You're being forced to face yourself in ways most people avoid their entire lives. Without friends telling you who you are, you have to discover it yourself. You dig deeper than most people ever will. You learn what you actually enjoy, not what you think you should enjoy to fit in. You develop genuine interests, real thoughts, authentic opinions formed without group pressure or social influence. You understand human behavior from observing it so closely for so long. You see patterns others miss. You recognize dynamics that participants never notice. So let's connect the dots here. Your brain changed to protect you. It built walls to keep pain out. It made you overthink every interaction. It convinced you that you weren't good enough, that your sensitivity was a flaw, that your depth was the problem, that your need for authenticity was too much. Every struggle you faced, every failed connection, every lonely weekend, every moment of self-doubt taught you something most people never learn. And this is where everything you thought you knew gets flipped completely upside down. That depth you developed, that sensitivity you thought was holding you back, that self-knowledge you earned through isolation, that refusal to accept fake connections, those aren't the reasons you don't have friends. They're exactly what makes you worth knowing. The right people aren't looking for someone easy or surface level or always agreeable. They're looking for someone real, someone who's done the inner work, someone who actually knows who they are and isn't afraid to be that person. Your isolation didn't break you. It prepared you. It taught you to value authentic connection over empty socializing, to choose depth over convenience, to be genuine in a world of performance. You're not broken. Your brain isn't working against you. It's been protecting you this whole time, waiting for people who are actually worth the risk of opening up again. Thanks for watching, and until next time.